What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. It is episode 278. Um, and pretty boring weekend. Nothing really happened. I can't think of anything notable that happened over the weekend. Uh, big win,
Hey,
big
Matt
win.
Eberflus fired.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
That
Hey,
did happen. Hey,
yeah,
hey,
no.
gotta
There
give
there
up.
was a coach who made some. Yeah, oh my God, just to think that I thought that first game on Thanksgiving, the end of that game, seeing Matt Eberflus and Caleb, and I'll be honest for a quick second, Caleb did get to the line. Everyone was set, and he just sat there for like 12 seconds. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Like he was
Regardless,
really
but
making sure.
you would think that was the prime example of coaching incompetence over the weekend, but um Crying Day and Lord Baron Harkonnen and Chip Kelly exist. So it was slightly different. We'll get into it a lot in a second here, but that last year and I believe it was four. I believe game four of the 2017 World Series. What do those 3 days all have in common? A little piece of my fandom and soul left this earth and moved on from this world and is no longer here with us. Uh,
Yeah,
no,
man.
no, no. I'm not lying when I say the most embarrassing loss in the history of sports. In the history of sports, that was the largest spread in rivalry history. In
Yeah, I will
rivalry
be honest.
history.
When I was sitting there and you said last episode, you're like, yeah, I remember the last time, like the spread games, they always lose those. They've always
The
lost them.
three times Ohio State, so the three largest spreads in rivalry history were all in favor of Ohio State. This past recent one was the highest ever. I think it was ended 20 and a half points. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I think it closed at that, but the previous two were minus 17 and 16 or minus 18, 17, Ohio State in the 90s. And it was the same scenario 10 and
Yeah.
1, 11 and 0, Ohio State beat Michigan, and you are a set. Well, it's slightly different this year, but like in those past years, like you just beat Michigan, you're playing in the national championship. Like that's what was on the
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they just go out to a barely 500 Michigan team and just lose
Yeah, no,
over and
when you
over.
said that last week, I was sitting there and it was like it was like Friday. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh no. Like I do not have a good feeling about this at all.
But
And
yeah, I
then
remember texting
I was
my
getting in a pregame and I was watching the pregame and I was like, oh, something doesn't feel right here.
yeah,
Something
it's
does
just
not
I was
feel right.
texting all the Michigan people just like before the game started, like literally a week ago on Saturday. Like Michigan was still playing Northwestern. Like Ohio State had just killed Indiana. And I remember texting them all. I'm like, Michigan plus 23 and a half. I think that's what it was at the time. I was like, that's free money. But like, what are we talking about? Like Ohio State's not gonna beat Michigan by that much. That's just not gonna happen. Not Ryan Day. That's not happening. But I'll be honest, I never thought it would end up like that. I would say as an Ohio State fan, I think I have a pretty good gauge on if I know Ohio State's gonna lose this game or not. Like I'd say my meter of knowing what's gonna go on is quite pretty intact in tune. And for that game, the start of the first drive, I don't remember exactly what happens, but Ohio State goes three and out. And after that, I,
Felt it.
yeah, okay. So it's a slight alarm. Maybe you need to go run real quick, but yeah, no,
Oh,
I,
oh,
I
oh, hey.
felt that, no, I felt that in my core, like in my gut. I felt in my gut, like,
Do we
we're
have a
not,
literal fire alarm going? What like are we
oh,
just
no, no,
like
no, no, no.
just the alarms of the
Doorbell,
game?
doorbell,
Oh,
doorbell.
oh,
Sorry,
okay.
sorry.
I was like, hey, if you want to talk about a quote
No, no,
literal
no.
fraud alert going on, that is the most blatant fraud alert that could
It's
happen.
not, there's no alert anymore. It's just true. There's no
Hey,
alerts.
yeah,
It's
no, very fair.
fact.
It's
No,
very
that
fair.
it's done in set in stone. that's the reality of the situation. But real quick about the game first. Okay, so going into this game, the only and I said this on a TikTok I made recapping, but going into the game, if you were to ask a 7-year-old who has just loaded up college football 25 twice, okay, those are the bare minimum requirements. You could ask any 7-year-old who has played that video game twice, and you could ask them what's the scariest part about Michigan, and they will tell you immediately two fat boys in the middle. You could ask a 6-year-old this question, they'll know the answer. So with that in mind, and also keep in mind, no Will Johnson. Okay. Secondary is weak.
And no, and is offensive, but also
we'll get to that side in a second, but no Will Johnson. That alone, I mean, even when Will Johnson was healthy, the offensive game plan to beat Michigan all year was just you pick on the other corner that's not named Will Johnson. You just throw to that guy. You're going to get a lot of first downs doing that. For some reason, we decided that was not how we're going to do it. I said it on that TikTok, but quite simply, Jim Harbaugh, there's never been a more correct human than Jim Harbaugh saying Ryan Day was born on third. There's never been a more correct take. Okay. I would say, well, in the rivalry history, that's the most correct take. Look, I was going to say the most correct take in college football history, but that's probably Tim Tebow's promise. So the second biggest promise in college football history. Well,
hey, I mean, look, this is the one thing, like, I want to ask you, this is what I'm most curious about. Like, every year for the last 4 years now, this has happened, unfortunately for you. I feel like there's a point where, from a fan base, there's no coming back from this. Like, you last episode, you're like, yeah, he needs to be executed Ned Stark style on the O
in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
I've been saying that for months.
If I'm in the locker room, though, if I'm a locker room guy, like,
oh yeah,
if I'm in my second year, maybe my third year, like I was here for CJ Stroud, Kyle, and for this.
Oh, we got a lot of stories about the locker room about to get into ever in a second, but
want to play for you. Like, that is not, like, do not. I do not want to be here.
No, we'll get to that in a second, but like, it was just a pathetic game plan. Everything Michigan said, actually not just Michigan, the whole college football world. Lou Holtz plays at least a 20% part in this happening.
This point was made by Josh Pate, and I think he was like, it just feels like when you come to that game, Michigan, it feels way different. Like, obviously Ohio State cares about the game. It means something to them. Like, it's rivalry. There's a lot on line, all that stuff. Like, he didn't say that it didn't mean anything to them, but he was like, when you go out to execute, it's like everything, your body, every single thing is on the line. And it's the way that Michigan prepares for it and plays it is not to the same standard as Ohio State.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're just like
under
loose.
Ryan Day,
Ohio State's tight and tense, and you could tell the coaches are, and then it reflects on the players.
It also doesn't help that Ryan Day is not, like, in this situation. Jim Harbaugh, when he started cheating and winning, he had nothing to lose. He was at this point, nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Ryan Day this year should have been, I have nothing to lose.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. You see the reaction. You see the reaction right now of the fans, and it's quite obvious there is a lot of pressure on him and what he's doing. I would say, compared to how the Michigan fans treated Harbaugh when he started off 0-5, only coach in rivalry history to start off 0-5. Like, at the end of it, there were fans calling for his job, but like, they kind of knew, like, at the end of the day, there isn't really an upgrade over Harbaugh, and we kind of just need to hope he figures it out. And so they, like, stayed supporting him. But like, when Michigan would lose Ohio State years ago, like, it's expected,
I want to ask you this.
He's not going to get any shit for it.
We're going to talk about the locker room and your feelings and stuff in a second, but I want to ask you this 2-part question. One, do you feel like if Ohio State won the Natty this year, let bygones be bygones, or Ryan Day, you still lost the game, get the fuck out?
it would be 100% tainted. I would
I know, but
I would actually be
would you still be
mad.
calling for his head or no?
Yes, I would genuinely be mad if Ohio State won the Natty this year. It would actually make me mad because what the hell? Where the hell was that?
And here's the other thing. This
No, it
is
make me
what
mad if they won. I
this
hope they
was
don't.
the second part of that was look, we kind of talked about it with the Dodgers and Dave Roberts, and obviously that played out differently. But my general thing that I've always said is you can have a coach that gets you so far, but you might need a coach that gets you further. And I feel like Ryan Day is in one of those positions where everybody talks about you're talking about being born on third base, right? Like he is a program that I feel like any competent coach most likely will be able to be successful with. So in that position, like, do you
You just
think
mean Ohio State as a job?
Ohio State as
Oh
a
yeah, no,
job?
it recruits
Like I
itself.
don't,
Like for
yeah,
the
I don't.
past 6 years, I've sat here being like, dude, Ryan Day's a recruiting genius. Like, look at the hires he's made. Hartline, Knowles, like all this shit, like Tim Walton. Uh, who cares? The 2021 class, the current senior class, that was the highest rated class in Ohio State history. 7 5 stars. One of them was Quinn Ewers, and he left, but you still get the point. 7 5 stars in that first class, and they quite literally have nothing to show for it.
Yeah,
Nothing.
no, nothing, nothing.
So I
And
don't care about
at a certain point, I really feel like
who
it
cares.
doesn't come down to recruiting. It's going to come down to performance. And if you have a coach who consistently does not perform well in big moments, it's like
Yeah, no, no.
hey, lights are
He
too bright. Turn the lights off. Turn the
yeah,
lights off. Turn them down.
he's a
Okay,
choker.
let perform.
It's
Let
just
perform.
it's simple as that. It's like he's been able to, I don't know what his record is, like 66-11 or something. Like you should be doing that at Ohio
It
State
almost
when you are that much more talented
yeah.
than your opponents every week.
It
That's
almost
the
feels like
floor.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
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 I would
like
agree with that.
there's for reference, Everett, guess how many seasons in my life Ohio State has not gotten double-digit wins?
Two, one. Hey, so close.
Once. But you
Was
get
that
my
Luke
point.
Fickle?
Yeah, interim year.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
you get what I'm saying. Like the brand is it's Ohio State. I
It's
hate to
sustainable.
sound entitled, but 10 and
You're not
2
wrong. Hey, you're
is
not
the
wrong. I'm not.
floor and it's a
Yeah, no, you're not
disappointment.
wrong. It's the same manner. It's like okay, the Chiefs every year. The Chiefs, yeah, Chiefs are expected to win the AFC
I feel
West
like
if
it's
anything
just tough
before
to
the Natty.
compare to NFL.
No,
It's just
I'm
tough.
just making a general. It's
But
the same
yeah,
thing. Dodgers every year. Dodgers, you expect to be good enough where they're going to be in the playoffs
no,
every single year. Same thing
that's a
with
better
Houston. They're going to
comparison.
be in the playoffs.
Like
Or I'm
before the
guessing,
Dodgers won the World Series this year, I would say like them and Ohio State are like the
or
same
like
team.
Golden State Cavs, like those years, Golden State, you're like anything other than winning the West
Sure,
is
2016 Golden State.
yeah
Yeah, it's just
is like a loss.
yeah,
Like when they're just running through everything with
yeah. But no. The school recruits itself. Uh, Ryan Day is not the reason that like Marv and all of them came. Like probably would have came anyway if someone else was head coach. But no, Ryan Day, the moment's too big for him. He's a choker. The last 6 years of my life have just been a waste of time for me and everybody in the great state of Ohio. It has just been a waste. He got an A+ program from Urban. That 2019 Ohio State team, his first year coaching, it was the most dominant Ohio State team I've seen in my life. Like there was not a hole on that team. Every single position group had dogs, NFL talent, every single position group. And
here's
then
my
he just
thing.
choked to Clemson.
Do you think though that Ohio State will legitimately fire Ryan Day for the Michigan
Oh,
game, even though he performs otherwise?
I'll get into it quite second. Right now, we're on the fence. Right now, there was a quote the other day from Ross Bjork, new Ohio State AD. He was at A&M for years, and before that, he was at Ole Miss, and he's like the GOAT fundraiser. He's the guy who got all the bagmen to get Laquan Treadwell, Robert Kemdici, Laramie Tunzel. He got all of them to Ole Miss in like 2013 when that doesn't happen. He's just a GOAT fundraiser. He just knows how to do the money side of football. And they're have been some quotes recently. He was asked about Ryan Day. Do you support him as coach? Does he have your full like support from the administration? And he was like, yes, of course, Ryan Day has my full support. I he is our head coach. And a lot of Ohio State fans read that like, dude, I'm done with this guy. That he cannot be like siding with Ryan Day. Uh, some screenshots came out when he was at A&M. Right before Jimbo was bought out, and the A&M boosters, of course, famously danced with their buyout check donation on the like literally on the middle of the field before their last game. They were dancing with their buyout money for Jimbo. Right before Jimbo was fired by Ross Bjork, like 3 days before, he said the exact same thing. Jimbo has my full support. He is our head coach, and he has my undivided loyalty. Same thing happened. Then he fired him 3 days later. So yeah, no, right now, Ross Bjork has seen, he's opened up Twitter over the past 72 hours, and he's realized, the fans are done with Ryan Day. So these are the things that have come out in recent news. Earlier today, there was an all players meeting. These are all alleged, but the Ohio State Twitter warriors are on overtime right now.
Yeah, they're working viciously.
For reference of how overtime the Ohio State fans are working. Right now, there's about 80 Ohio State fans, like quite literally scouting high school kickers and DMing them to come to Columbus. Yeah. Okay. Actually, before I get on
the Ohio State Reddit.
No, yeah, no. Literally, you got to go to Bucknuts 24/7 message boards right now. You'll get all the juice, folks, all of it. But Ryan Day this past offseason, he spent $20 million on his roster, the most in college football, the most ever on a roster, recorded publicly. There were probably a couple of Bama teams a while ago who were worth more, but okay, we know Ohio State paid the most money for the team this year. Ryan Day went out, bought a Lamborghini at safety, Caleb Downs. He got a Ferrari at running back, Quinshon Judkins. Just recruiting wise or keeping his players, he kept a shit ton of some nice cars on the defense. And with all that, he essentially decided to skip the insurance plan and have Will Howard be the quarterback. He bought a $20 million car and did not get insurance. That's the metaphor for the scenario.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. I was going to say got a minivan to top it off.
Yeah, like it's
mystery,
like
the mystery machine, Grant.
Yeah, it's like he got he bought a $20 million house like in a hazard zone that it's like this is not going to end out well. That's what he did.
Meme of the Bugatti and that
yes, no, literally Bugatti just in it is the Bugatti in the driveway meme.
It is ironic. I didn't text you specifically after this happened, but I text you. I was like, yeah. So
I didn't go on my phone for 48 hours.
Yeah, no. I picked up on that, but I texted you at the beginning of the game before anything had happened. I was like, yeah. So is Will Howard just not that good, and the rest of the team around him is just better, and that's why he has good stats? You're like, no. Like,
well, it's funny because the past like month
that was just bad.
Oh, bro,
so bad.
No, quite literally. Like it was.
I was like, I'm not saying a word because I know
it was the opposite. It was the opposite of the moral of this year, which has been ask and you shall receive. I swear, this year specifically fantasy. Anytime I tweet out, let's throw the ball to Jamar Chase, he'll just score a 70-yard touchdown the next drive. Ask and you shall receive, folks. That was not a good example of it. But, I will say this. It doesn't even matter because Will Howard should have been good enough to beat that Michigan team. I'm not going to blame Will Howard for that. More so the national title championship picture. Oh, yikes. That's not going to end out well. I was saying, though, in the past, like you look at the past national champion winners, I'm primarily looking at Stetson, Georgia. You don't need a game-breaking quarterback to win the natty, but
decisions.
But those Georgia teams all had ridiculous talent surrounding everywhere. Not just talent, but also coaches. Okay, they had coaching on those teams. Ohio State did not. But
Does not.
yeah,
Does not.
no, Ohio State or Ryan Day, we're done here. This is the rumor's been going around. We'll get into the juice now. Moving forward, you're gonna like this, Everett. So right after the game, it came out. There was a rumor that Ryan Day has actually been asking around for the past month and a half since the Oregon loss. He's been asking around for jobs. That was the initial rumor that came out. I have no idea if that's true or not. A lot of Ohio State fans are suggesting it is, but what I do know for fact, and no surprise, duh, but Chip Kelly obviously has been asking around for jobs. Like it was always just going to be a 1 year thing anyway.
It
So
was a loner. It was a
no,
loner.
yeah, like that one wasn't surprising at all. But just the Ryan Day specifically shopping around. I have no idea if it's true or not. Ohio State people, we all believe it is, but obviously, if that's true, I mean, what are we talking about? Like he's looking around for jobs. He's like already like scared of how the season's gonna end. Like nice. But this is where it gets fun. There was a players only meeting earlier. Uh, in the players only meeting, it was led by Caleb Downs, and apparently Caleb Downs and the whole team was expressing it. Caleb Downs just led it, but the entire team was essentially um, beyond pissed off at all of the coaches for throwing the game. Essentially, they were all livid, very mad at the coaches, blaming them. And then also Caleb Downs and some guys on the defense specifically called out the O line because, hey, to be honest, they were shit. So they deserve some calling out. Yeah, some injuries caused it, but you would think, Everett, with your starting center going down, your starting left tackle going out, and your left guard has to bump out to tackle to fill in. So you got two replacement interior offensive linemen. You would think the coaches realize maybe we shouldn't run up the middle if we got two fill-ins on the interior O line. Instead, Ryan Day took all those soft Charmin comments quite literally to heart, and he thought that the only way to gain respect of the Ohio State fandom would be running the ball up the middle into the only strength of Michigan's team and mowing them over on the ground that way. He quite literally let all of the softness talk get to him. He clearly has been on Twitter for the past few years. That's pathetic. The head coach of any team should not care what anyone says. Like, if people are criticizing how you win games, then you're doing something good. You're still winning. It's better to have people being like, oh, they're soft, they don't run the ball. Yeah, but you could have still won that game 49-10 if you just passed. The one drive, 2 minute, there's a minute left on the clock. Ohio State has to pass. They just go down, waltz down, and score. It was like maybe you should have done that the whole game. But not. But anyway, there's dissension in the locker room. Caleb Downs calling the coaches out, calling out the O linemen. But Ryan Day was apparently, informed of it, and the end quote was, "RD got the message." I don't exactly know what that means, but fast forward a little bit later to an hour ago. The current rumor going around the Ohio State fandom is that Ryan Day has stepped down as head coach of Ohio State, and Urban Meyer has accepted the Ohio State head coach job offer. That's the rumor. Urban is back. Ryan Day resigned. That's the rumor.
He said, "No, I'm not. That shit's not allowed."
That's the rumor.
Unacceptable.
And I would say I doubt that. I would say right now, Ohio State fans, we are in the Urban Meyer denial stage right now of the reality of what's going on. We are in the Urban Meyer stage of grief. That's a stage unique to Ohio State fans, but that's where we're all in right now. I believe it comes after the second phase. So I believe in between denial and anger, that's where Urban Meyer phase comes in. That's where we are right now. I don't
Isn't
think
it?
Urban
Isn't
Meyer
it
is going to be the next
anger,
head coach.
denial? I thought the next is acceptance.
I thought that was last
When
acceptance, right?
acceptance is last. Oh, it's like sorrow. It's like you get like pitiful or something about it.
Well, that'll be
Sadness.
coming up soon. Thanks. But yeah, the rumors that Urban has taken the job, I doubt that. If I were to guess, Ohio State probably offered Mike Vrabel. Um, he may have hung up like before Ross Bjork even like said the salary. He was
You
like,
don't
"I'm not
think
coming back,
he
dude."
wants to do that?
He hates recruiting so
Oh,
much.
I know that, but I have seen clips of him talking about
No, I
coaching for
know.
Ohio State when he like
Hey,
he's in it.
hey, he's Ohio State thick and thick. Don't get me wrong, but like I just if an NFL job is open, we'll see.
Well,
I
it's
would
the
be
same thing with
surprised.
Harbaugh. Every season was like, yeah, NFL job's open. I'm gonna interview.
The one difference is like Harbaugh like quite literally is like Michigan football. Like Mike Vrabel isn't Ohio State football at his core. He's a football guy at his core.
What if you got Taylor Lewan come in?
I don't know if he wants to coach. I
No,
would
no
love
shot.
him as an O
No
line
shot.
coach. I think he's got a nice gig going on in Detroit right now, but I
Does he?
would love that. I mean, we're talking many former coaches. I'm hearing one rumor right now, Marcus Freeman to Ohio State,
I
but
was thinking about
also
that at
what I'm
first.
hearing is Marcus Freeman to
Freeman to the Bears.
Chicago.
Please God do that. Thank.
Mark,
I would love that so much. Please do
Mark,
that.
please don't
Bears.
do that for you. Like,
Please do
please,
that.
Marcus, do not do
Oh
that.
my God.
That's
You know
going to be
what?
a bad.
It's gonna be Cliff, and I'm gonna love every second of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's gonna
probably
be
gonna
Cliff, and I'm
happen.
gonna love every second of it.
And hey, Cliff was just an assistant, which USC is currently on probation by the NCAA for their illegal use of additional assistants. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
Cliff
no,
and
back to your
Caleb. Uh,
back to your yes topic. Urban Meyer is like, was there any other leaks or was that just
well, I'm just the rumors is that Urban and Mike Vrabel are being the first two guys asked.
would make sense? I feel like if you did not do that, you would
Yeah, it'd be a
not
bad
do it. I
idea.
feel
Be a
like it's
bad
a bad
idea.
idea.
We're starting off with them two, which I love. I would assume neither of them take it. Maybe Urban does. Shit, I have no idea. But I'd assume we don't go
This
those
is all
routes.
hypothetical. Nothing has officially been stated yet. This is
Yeah,
very
and yeah, like in terms of other coaches, like I don't really know the answer because I mean, if I could have anyone, it'd be Kirby Smart. He's not leaving Georgia.
Dan
Next,
Lanning's
I'd
not
pick
leaving.
Dan Lanning. He's not leaving Oregon. So after that, I don't.
The guy from tennis. What about the guy from Tennessee?
Heupel won't leave
Hype won't leave.
Tennessee.
I
Uh,
know that's his spot, but
but regardless, I was telling you in the past, we'd ask like, who do you want to replace Ryan Day? And it's like, objectively speaking, it's like I have no idea who would exactly just be better than him. However, I know that if Ryan Day is the head coach of Ohio State, this team will never win anything. So we're done here. We're done here.
yeah.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting new results. I've now seen it for 6 years of my life. He finds a new way to choke every single time. So I'm done. We're done here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at top 25 teams right now, just for reference of like who's doing a good coaching job. Uh, I highly doubt you guys are going to hire the guy from SMU right now. That'd make zero sense. That'd be horrible.
Is it
Um,
who's it? Who's the current
I don't
coach of
remember what his
SMU?
name is. I don't remember.
Ryan
I don't remember what his
something?
name is from SMU. They just signed him to that extension to keep him. He's doing a good job though. But like you're not gonna go after Lane Kiffin. You're not gonna go after Dabo. You're not going after the guy from UNLV or Syracuse or any of that. Like not Memphis.
Yeah.
Like I'd be
No,
really
no.
surprised if you went after a Johnson. Like anybody in G5, like even John Summerall would really surprise me.
No,
Um,
they're not gonna take any of those guys.
yeah, no, you can't hire. You're not gonna get DeBoer from Bama. Like Elma,
And I
Elma's
honestly
not
don't
coming
even
back
know if I
because you
want
don't
to
want
book.
him. But like those other coaches that were candidates that might be from those programs might be able to get them. Like Elko, you're not going to get. DeBoer, you wouldn't get. Right? You do not want Norvell now. You do not still don't want Mario Cristobal. He would probably even leave. Like so
Yeah, no, Chris Paul won't leave Miami.
should like Dion like go get
That's
Dion.
the thing flying around and like, hey, I'll be dead ass. I'll take a year or two of the memes.
Oh, Shane Beamer.
That's what my brother was floating around in like South Carolina's got some good things going. That that's not the
I wouldn't
craziest one,
hate. You
Shane
might not
Beamer,
like
but
it.
I don't think that's
Brent
how Ohio State
Brent
will do it.
Key,
Brent
Georgia
Key,
Tech, Georgia Tech.
is he the head coach of Georgia Tech?
Yes, Georgia Tech.
Unfamiliar with his work.
Almost beating Georgia is his work, and beating Florida State, but he's just
uh,
he's a coach guy, not a recruit guy. That's more so what I'm thinking about it. He's like, I'm here like to coach, game plan, coach kind of guy, not like I'm here to recruit guys.
yeah, and I'll be honest, when it comes to Ohio State, like, hey, I'm just stuck in the Urban Meyer ways. Like, Urban was all about recruiting. He was like, if I could pick a coach who's an A coach, he's talking assistants here. If I could pick a assistant position coach who's an A coach, B recruiter,
You know
or
what?
A recruiter, B coach, you give me the A recruiter every single time.
Is not necessarily Ohio State directly, but Joe Brady.
Oh, I was hearing that floating around. Sign me up tonight for that.
Yeah,
Sign
no,
me up
that's he
tonight
also
for that.
he probably is more likely to get a head coaching gig in the NFL.
And the college football playoff rankings just dropped, and
I saw that. Yeah,
Ohio State is really ranked sixth.
yeah.
God,
What's ASU? Or no, you're playing Bama. You're playing Bama right now.
well, I think yes, 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 yeah.
Unfortunately,
I mean, to be honest, like I I expect Ohio State to win a couple of games because they're about to spend the next 3 weeks of their lives having everyone tell them how shit they are and how much they suck. And so when Ohio State is mad and has nothing to lose, that's when they usually just
well,
drop their
Will,
nuts and kill people.
we were talking about the locker room. You're talking about
No,
rumors.
it's gone. No, no, oh, no. Like Caleb
The
Downs
locker room's
quite
gone.
literally
No.
held that to say, if Ryan Day's not gone, I'm gone.
Yeah, no. I would. I mean, look, we talked about the locker room. We talked about rumors, but let's talk about you, Ryan. Let's talk about your experience in this game.
No,
Namely,
let's not. No.
well, last year you got COVID. This year, nothing as
Yeah,
bad.
no, okay. Last year I thought my body was decomposing. It was the first time in my life, and I thought it was going to be the only time in my life. I lost three straight to them. Like, you can go
Well,
on the
you haven't
TikTok.
lost 3 straight yet. It's 4 now.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying at that point,
Yeah.
it was my first time losing three straight. At the time I thought that would never happen again, losing three straight. Uh, but we lost that one, and you can go on the TikTok right now. I have it stitched like to the most recent post. You can click on that, and that was me within 30 minutes of the game ending. For that one, I did, despite having COVID and my body started to deteriorate over the next 96 hours. Despite that, I still had the energy to make that video. Okay. I still had the energy to do it. This time around, Everett, I have never felt that much despair in my life.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. First of all, there was a point where I thought that it was going to be a solo epi. I thought it might be a solo. It might be the first solo epi. I won't lie. Second of all, I texted our fan favorite, our favorite guest, Chad Odell Bailey during the game. I specifically stated, for the sake of myself, I do not even want to know what's going on in Grant's household.
Nobody in my house spoke until Monday. The only person who spoke over the past 2 days was my mom. Nobody spoke. No communications were made. Afterwards, I was walking by, and I saw my dad just rewatching Dodger highlights. That's how he got by.
God.
Um, but I mean, I knew it was bad when the second it came down. My dad said that was the worst loss he had ever seen in his life, and he had lived through the '90s with
Yeah, the
those
Cooper
same
years.
things happening, like the same game. But no, this one, uh, and it's for a number of reasons, but primarily
Yeah, well, while you're giving the
this,
spiel, I'm gonna get some
yeah,
some over here real
no,
quick.
primarily though, it essentially just there was a chance to just right the ship correct here, and the ship sunk. We're already halfway to the bottom of the Mariana Trench right now. It's not looking great. It's not looking great out in Columbus. But for reference, after the game ended, I just did not even have the strength to interact with anything media related. I'll wait forever to get back to go into detail, but okay, here we go. Everett's back. Yeah, get plugged in. All right. I was just saying though, after that first one, I had the energy to at least make that recording, get through
Yeah.
that, and move on. But this time, I just did not have the energy. Put my phone. I was starting to get blown up by people I have not spoken to in eons, who were shit talking me, and I'll admit I wasn't man enough to face the music. I couldn't. No, I couldn't because everyone analyzes Ohio State under the last couple years as Ryan Day, but that's not the part of me that had to reflect. The 6 year old me had to sit there and realize that everything you believed your whole life that Ohio
Gone.
State was
Yeah,
elite.
I
It was
I
all a lie. It was all a mirage.
I will
And
say I think the first time I texted you was it might have been yesterday or like late Sunday night, and I think I just sent you like a Twitter post about In and Out. Like I didn't even mention like I don't even think you responded to that. Like I think it literally was something else that you ended up starting to talk to me about. It was like had at least been like 36 hours since the end of that game.
yeah, no, that one, people trying to talk to me about that. Well, I'd say this last thing about it. Ryan Day has done irreversible damage to this fan base. And for me personally, Ryan Day did something to me that I never thought would be possible in my life. But Ryan Day is the reason why I don't love Ohio State currently. Ryan Day has stripped my love for Ohio State off of that performance. There's nothing to be proud of. It was the most embarrassing day of my
Yeah,
life.
how
I've
did it
never
feel
been
that
that ashamed because I mean, hey, growing up in LA, not many Ohio people out in LA, folks. A lot of Michigan people out in LA. I was just known as the Ohio State guy growing up, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
yeah, the cherry on top is your quarterback is the one who beat you. Your I shouldn't say your because people might insinuate if you're listening to this might think your meaning like oh former like Ohio State quarterback something like that. No, Davis
No, I
Warren
played high school football
literally
with him.
was Grant's quarterback in high school football when Grant was on the O line. Grant was not snapping the ball for him, but blocking for him.
No, yeah,
Quite
and
literally.
I mean the full circle. Oh my god! I just sat there. I was just like, this.
I don't think unless it was Miller, I don't think there could have been another
No,
worse
I'll be honest.
official. You think this is
The
worse?
Davis is worse because I like played with him. That's just I can't even. I like never in my wildest dreams could I ever imagine that one day this guy behind you is gonna beat Ohio State one day. Like I always thought growing up in high school, like where I came from, pretty talented, but not the elite of
Mm.
Southern California. But I always thought to myself, like, yeah, like, you know, we got a couple of guys who went and played in college, but like, it's not like any of us have. There were no four
Grew
stars
up
on my
in
team. All
grew
right,
up
there were no
in the same
top.
kind of group as you or Chad or whoever else.
No, yeah, but now
Or
it's
something
it's
like, hey, you might
it's
do something,
like
but not like, yeah.
no, yeah. Part of me thinks like, it is kind of funny that like I did play with the quarterback of Michigan who beat Ohio State. Like sitting there, I'm just like, no, that can't be true. That's a fairy tale story right there. That can't happen, but it did, and now I'm just here. And here we are. It's Tuesday, December 3rd. So yeah, it's just no, yeah.
Hey man,
I've
just
never
teach you one
felt
thing.
ashamed to be associated with Ohio State, but I feel
Dreams can
ashamed.
come true. Dreams can come true, and nightmares can too. So let's
No,
keep
this is
that
a
in mind.
nightmare. So, I mean, I'm not lying to say I quite literally thought it's impossible for Ohio State to lose that game. Like, there's no way. There's no way it could. And then it just slowly.
It's unraveled.
It wasn't like a dagger just going deeper into my chest. It was like it was getting pulled out of me. Okay. Just slowly every time Ohio State just first down, halfback dive up the middle, 0 yards, 2nd and 10, another halfback dive up the middle, 0 yards, 3rd and 10, Will Howard, there was a check down 8 yards short of the marker. It's like they were pulling the dagger out of me. All right. Like the damage has already been done. No, yeah, there is no coming back from that. I would be mad if Ohio State won the national championship this year because Ryan Day would probably stay. And
Yeah, nothing's happening until the season is officially over for
I will
Ohio
say
State.
this though, it's impossible for Ohio State to win a national championship with that guy as head coach. So that's not
Yeah.
possible. So
Yeah.
not gonna act like that can happen. Yeah,
Well,
but yeah, that is going to recap it. I don't think we'll see. We'll see who the next head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes is. But I may I may have like a 2 year stretch up here, Everett, where I'm about to become like Ole Miss. I'm about to be
never
the
go
Tennessee
full Ole Miss.
Volunteers. I'm
Never go
about
full Ole Miss.
I'm about to be that tier. I'm about to be Miami. I'm about to be Clemson right now. I'm about to be
Well, Clemson at least has titles with their current coach.
well right now, like just 9-3 every year.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah. Well,
what I may go through. Um,
well, it
it's a
depends. If you
dark
have a
day.
competent coach, it might not matter.
Yeah, well we'll see. It could be a great hire. But
Yeah.
no, it was the darkest day in Ohio
Darkest
State
hours, some would
history.
say.
Yeah. No, and it's the light, it's still midnight. Like we're just frozen in time. We're never getting to morning.
Ugh,
As,
gross.
lo- as long as Ryan Day is head coach of Ohio State, it will always be stuck at midnight.
Yeah. What was is it like the doomsday clock or whatever it is that like the as the closer it gets to midnight, the worse like
Yeah,
society
yeah.
is. Yeah. No, the clock is at midnight.
No,
We're
yeah,
not
we're just paused at midnight. That's
Yeah.
that's
No,
the
it's not
state.
approaching midnight. It is at midnight.
Yeah, no, that's
Um.
that's the state of Ohio State. But all
All
right,
right,
okay.
Grant. We're gonna
On to
get
the
into the
National
NFL here.
Football League.
Yeah. So first of all, game wise, last week I went 14-2. Grant went 13-3. I would say performance wise record. For
We can
actual
take a quick little victory lap.
performance. Yeah. I'm currently sitting at 65.17% accuracy in picking games. I believe Grant's just literally right below that.
Yeah, I
Um,
did not do the
but I
calculations
mean,
on this. I'm 115 and 63 though.
yeah, I'm 116, so just a one game lead here. Which hey, at this point in the season has never happened before. Week 14, I don't believe I've ever been in the lead by
Yeah,
any
and
means.
I don't think I've ever been over 60% this late into the season either. Maybe
No,
maybe I don't think. I doubt it. Maybe.
not. We'll put it this way: we haven't ended
You
over
guys
60.
fact check that,
Yeah,
not
you
us.
guys fact check. We're
Yeah,
throwing in
we're
numbers.
we're the water boys. You guys do all that
Yeah,
work.
two quick things. one, we talked about Eberflus being fired. Makes sense. I think that if you guys at least watch football on Thanksgiving, which, to be honest, I believe all American households most likely did. If you didn't, we need to have some conversations. But on top of that, this was in the game for the Vikings. They said this during the game, Grant.
Mhm.
The only coach who has a better record than Kevin O'Connell in one-score games over their career
Over
is
their
John Madden.
career.
John Madden.
John Madden. All right. Okay.
He's
That's
the only coach who has a better record in one-score games as in their coaching career is John Madden. Just wanted to point out that fun fact. You know, you got to give him. I had to give my guy flowers.
well, no, I'll say Kevin O'Connell is a very good head coach. I don't think anyone can debate that now.
I believe now Mike McDaniel and Kevin O'Connell are the only two remaining coaches from that hiring cycle.
Oh, I thought you were saying are the only two coaches like a positive record in one score games. I was like, Mike McDaniel has that.
Not Mike McDaniel. Not Mike McDaniel. No. But
No,
I think
yeah,
they're the only two remaining coaches.
yeah. No, Kevin O'Connell is an excellent head coach. He's obviously very, very good. You just look at like the quarterback situations he's had recently and just piecing it together.
So, by the way, I did hear two things. One, I saw a post from like a Bears fan. Keep in mind, Bears fan, delusional, right? They were like, "Yeah, I'm just laying it out there, but like, how many picks do you think it would take to trade the Vikings for Kevin O'Connell?" And every Vikings fan was like, "We would need the next 30, and we would need Caleb Williams."
Oh yeah, no, I was hearing stuff. I was hearing stuff recently where it's like a Jets fan being like, should we just like trade 5 firsts for Sean McVay? It's like that is why you will remain the Jets.
It's also
what?
like, do you think Sean McVay is gonna?
What was Sean Payton traded for? A second?
One first.
He was still a first though.
He was a singular first.
But still, I mean, that is a little crazy.
I mean, he's the number coach, a Super winning coach, but like,
but you shouldn't. I don't care. You can't be trading first for a coach. You can't.
Gruden was traded for a first.
I don't care. You can't be doing that. You can't be. I mean, what are we talking about here?
No,
like,
let's put it this way. There are. All right. Hey. If you wanted to go and trade for, let's say, Antonio Pierce, do whatever you want, bro. I do not care. You could trade for him. But there are coaches where it's like literally no matter what you do to give to get them, would never be enough to actually have the trade approved. And like that would be Sean McVay, Andy Reid, like the top coaches.
Well, I'd also say that like a Rams or Chiefs would just never trade them away.
No, yeah, but also like Kevin O'Connell.
And if someone came for 10 first for McVay, it was a great time, Sean, and we hope you the best.
10 first, yeah. No, I will figure it out.
It was a pleasure.
Just be like, yo, Sean, like give us.
We had a great run.
Your next guy, like we'll take your next.
No, yeah, or it's. I mean, realistically, what it would be is you trade McVay to whoever. He does his 1 year. He resigns, and then comes back.
Does the Bill Belichick?
Does the Aroldis Chapman. Yankees, they send him to Chicago for 2 months to go win with the Cubs and then right back in New York the next year. Don't even think he got an apartment in Chicago. Like
he was living on the street.
No, like he may have just lived at Wrigley.
Just at the stadium, yeah. No.
Literally, he may have lived at Wrigley for those month and a half.
But yeah, no, the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell is now taking Andy Reid's spot as quarterback whisperer. Andy Reid's on his way out. Kevin O'Connell is now assuming that duty.
Who are the quarterback whisperers right now? Reid, KOC, Sean Mc. Is Sean McVay a quarterback whisperer or just an offensive guy? Okay. Yeah, okay. That's where I'm getting a little different. Like Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd necessarily say quarterback guru, but offensive guy.
Yeah, if Sean McVay came out with John Wolford and John Wolford performed when that happened, we'd have a case, but that did not happen.
Yeah.
That did not happen.
Yeah, like no, I wouldn't say quarterback whisperer per se. I don't really know though. Whisperer. I don't really know who else.
I would say because like the problem to have a quarterback whisperer, you need to have like an actual record of different quarterbacks. You can't just have one quarterback that perform well. Like people would say Dable, but Daniel Jones fell off a cliff after that.
I wouldn't necessarily say. There's too many quote QB whisperers out there.
Shanahan's not a QB whisperer because when they don't have Purdy, they
No,
suck.
it's not
They
Shanahan.
like
He's run game
whatever
whiz.
run game. Great. Maybe could argue Sean Payton. Bo Nick's playing well. Drew Brees started playing well under Sean Payton. Keep in mind that he brought him in.
I think he's just a very good coach.
That's fair.
I'm not sure. Yeah, like QB guru, I don't think that was Sean Payton.
Shane Steichen? Not there, but could get there.
You know what? That's the best one I've heard so far.
I'd say not there, but could get there.
No one in the NFC South.
Oh, no, definitely not.
I mean, ironically, like for Harbaugh being a former quarterback, like I feel no, he isn't. He's like I view Harbaugh as a defensive coach, even though everything about his past should say he's an offensive guy. Like he played like, but I look at him for his defenses.
If we wanted to say he was a quarterback guy, then Alex.
No, it's not him. No, it's not him. No, so I think that's it. We got three.
KOC,
and maybe
Andy Reid, and maybe
Steichen.
Yeah,
maybe Steichen. Yeah, no, there's not a lot.
Like and I would argue if you
in college, I think it might just be Ryan Day and Lincoln Riley, and look how they turned out.
Here's the gray area though with Sean McVay and with Shanahan. They're offense guys, not QB guys, but you send quarterbacks there to not start, but to learn offense stuff. And then can go somewhere else and succeed.
What's the Sean Payton example for those?
I said Sean
like
McVay.
Oh. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, they have great systems. It's so QB friendly.
You'll send somebody in there to learn offense, but not learn quarterback. Different.
Like I think the Niners are like the perfect example of it, where it's like the outside.
Like Sam Darnold got sent in there, and then he got sent over to us, like double reclamation project there. Like can't take full responsibility, but we will. So
I think you can take full responsibility for that. He never looked good anywhere until.
I was trying to be humble.
I'll give that one to you. Though, yeah, Darnold. The only time he's looked good ever since USC was Minnesota.
Let's get into this week's game slate though. Week 14, Grant, you have the unfortunate privilege.
We got a lot of bye weeks this week. All right, Broncos, Colts, Patriots, Commanders, Ravens, and Texans all on bye. I feel like we've never had a bye this late into the season. I'm probably wrong on that. Don't quote me. I just feel like post Thanksgiving, we're all playing every single week. Guess not though. We're in a new era. But Thursday night. Game of the week, Packers at Lions. Early slate. Close your eyes, run and hide game of the week, Jaguars at Titans. Another close your eyes, run and hide game of the week, Jets at Dolphins. We have the Kirk Cousins revenge game, Falcons at Vikings. Another close your eyes, hide, run, sprint game of the week, Saints at Giants. We have a disgusting football game that's going to be awful. Panthers at Eagles. This one, a divisional matchup, and they had an interesting game a couple of weeks ago. Browns at Steelers. And then we finish off with just yet another. What am I watching? Raiders at Bucks. Late slate. My game of the week. My WTF game of the week. Pick'em game of the week. Seahawks at Cardinals, Bills at Rams, which should be a pretty good game. And then another yucky, gross, I don't know who's going to score a touchdown, Bears at 49ers. Sunday night football, Justin is back in Arrowhead, Chargers at Chiefs. And then Monday night, Bengals at Cowboys. This is an atrocious slate. Wow. All right, I'll give my picks first. Lions, Titans, Dolphins, Vikings, Saints, Eagles, Steelers, Bucks, Seahawks.
Okay, he's confident. Oh no, that took out the mic. The Bacaw took the mic down. That was too confident. He was too confident. He put all his juice. He can't hear, but he put all that juice into the Bacaw. Is what he's trying to articulate.
Wait. Okay, I'm back. If the mic cuts out, It's a damn good Paka, folks. If the mic cuts, damn good. Historic Paka right there. I'll go back and verify my record when I say Paka for the
Okay,
Seahawks.
we don't
I
need to do
I may need to start
that.
tracking that. Yeah, Seahawks, Bills, Niners, Chargers, and Bengals.
Okay, we got some differences this week, Grant.
Jinkies,
First of
Freddie.
all, first of all, I want to say my policy. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same year. I'm applying that here, but it's more so. Grant, the thing is, it's in division games, so everything the fuck out the window, and I always have these series split for the most part, unless it's NFC North. Depends on the team too. But Packers, Vikings, Titans, Dolphins, Saints, Eagles, Steelers, Bucks, Cardinals, Bills, Bears, Chargers, and Bengals.
I don't know why you picked the Chargers. I'm
Hey, you
telling
know
you,
what?
it
I can't.
might
It's
not end
going
well.
against precedent. It might not end well. It might. Hey, no, who knows? I'm going with the vibes though. The Herbert vibe.
All right.
Like you gotta
All right. No,
let me
no,
have my
jump in my hole. Jump on my boat. Jump on my hole, Everett.
might be sinking into the water, but we'll be rowing together.
Higher likelihood than not of it sinking halfway down the Mariana Trench, but yes.
Yeah, we'll be rowing together. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'd say Packers, Lions. I feel like it being Thursday night, I like the Packers like
Look,
a little bit even more on
I'll be
that.
honest. I'll be honest. I think that the Packers are somewhat fraudulent. I think that they have not looked great.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think they've looked excellent.
I think the Lions have not looked great either recently. Honestly speaking, we're going by the standard of those teams. By the standard of those teams, they don't look great. Vikings are in the same category. I don't think the Vikings, but so people don't argue with me. Right? But I think on that basis, like I think the Packers. This is kind of the point of the season where the Packers do kind of pick it up a little bit. And I do think that like this is kind of big for the Packers. You lose here, you have zero shot at the NFC North. Not saying that they do to begin with, but if they win here, they're a game back of some really loud cars going by. They're a game back of first
the division.
Yeah, assuming.
Okay.
I believe they still.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, here I got it pulled up. Yeah, Lions are 11-1. Packers are 9-3. So after that,
would be a game back. So that's really big for them.
oh yeah, no, they need to win this game for the division.
Yeah. And then I mean, looking at some of the other games here, biggest one being that Seahawks Cardinals game. Seahawks. They played 2 weeks ago, I believe. I think they.
Oh yeah, no, like literally
played
the other
week.
week.
Seattle
Gross, yucky game, 16-6.
Yeah, Seattle won that game, but I do think that Cardinals, like this is the point where I say split series. All right. It's kind of the same way where the series with the Rams and 49ers always split, but when the Rams play the 49ers at the end of the season, they always beat them.
No. From all those
always win.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the same vibe that I'm getting here that way. And then the other big thing that we had different Bears and 49ers. 49ers are so injured. And the Bears, I think, just you have the ineptitude dawn. I think that they're just going to be like, I'm not saying Thomas Brown, whatever his name is
a little interim bump.
But I think there might be a little bumpy, like
little interim bump. Okay.
Caleb, I don't care what you just go do you.
Yeah. And I mean, I've heard some things about Caleb Everett, some stats that have blown my mind. So when Caleb is
passing yards and just
when Caleb throws with a clean pocket under 3 seconds dropping back, so when he gets that ball out quick, he has the third highest quarterback rating in the NFL this year. When he throws from a clean pocket, everything's in line. He doesn't need to improvise on his own. He's the third best quarterback in the NFL in terms of QBR. However, Everett, this is where you might chuckle a little bit, and I might give you some solid ammo to use on the Chicago Bears fans for a while. When Caleb Williams is dropping back for longer than 3 seconds, which means he's scrambling, improvising, trying to make something out of nothing, he has a quarterback rating of 4. 4. This isn't like a 400, like 4, like 1 4. No.
4.
4. The number 4. That is, of course, the worst quarterback rating ever, ever.
Worse than
Um,
Nathan Peterman.
Shit, that's tough, but it
Six
might be.
interceptions, one game.
Yeah, it might be. It might be worse, but it's just I've never heard of like a gap like that. Like when he plays
That is
football,
crazy.
third best quarterback in
I
the
also want
NFL.
to just say, like, I do want to say this, like, the Bears have been playing good in close games. Like, they played well against good teams. I
They're
think
right
it
there.
literally is just a matter of the coach and the system you're getting put in. Because, like,
Dude,
I
it's
think
Ryan Day.
as a team, like, they're there, right? Like, they could have won most of these games if not for a
Yeah.
couple of things happening.
Big Cat
And
was
it would be
saying though, that's what kind of makes him mad because he thinks the McCaskies are sitting there like, oh, yeah, I mean, we were right in those games. We don't need to improve anything. We just need a new coach and then it'll solve itself. It's like
well,
there
yeah.
needs a lot of help.
There's a
But
reason why they're
yes,
the Bears.
yeah.
You know what? You got to
There's
take
only
what you can
two
get.
truths. There's
Hey,
only two truths in this league, Everett.
they've looked good. I'll let you finish.
I'm just saying there's only two truths in this league. The Chicago Bears and the New York Jets will always be bad. Those are the two guarantees.
But I mean, like, look, like, you can't lie with it. They've been playing well. Like, I mean, there's only so much you can do, and if the first thing is change a coach, you change a coach. But like the team, the owners, they're gonna do the owner things that the Bears do, which is
I
always
feel
having an
like the
inept
Bears
coach.
have already gotten their Niners upset this century, though, in that rain game 2 years ago when Justin Fields slid. I think they already got their win for this
Yeah,
decade.
yeah, but
Obviously,
I
that
mean,
was
look,
a
there's
vibes
the
stat right
Bears
there. But
also
yes,
just always will have an inept coach. Like, I think the stat is, I think the last three quarterbacks they picked in the first round, they have all had their coach fired the next season.
okay. I just had a bit of an idea. Everett, tell me what you think on this because I feel like the Bears, when they play good teams, it is a competitive game. Like they don't just get like first half they'll get steamrolled and then they'll somehow come back into the game and make it something. But is it more so the Bears play up to their competition or their competition plays down to theirs? What do we think?
I think it happens so consistently that the Bears have to play up.
Okay. Okay.
But also in the case of the Vikings always play down. So there's a weird,
No, yeah, because like that is
middle
that is a
ground
thing.
where
To,
they
like
meet.
the
Yeah, but
Chiefs play down to their competition.
yeah, no, I think the Bears play up.
Okay. Okay.
But I think it's also dependent. And I just also will just say, like, historically speaking, like I said, the last three quarterbacks they picked in the first round have had the coaches fired in the next year and then immediately replaced with another coach that's inept.
Yeah.
So,
No, there's so much. I believe like technically
I will cry
Caleb's going to be on
laughing.
his third OC next
Yeah,
year.
I will cry laughing if they hire Matt
Ryan
Nagy.
Day.
Matt Nagy.
Oh, that'd be. I mean, if Ryan Day was announced as the Chicago Bears head coach ever, that might be the funniest shit I'll ever read in my life.
No, I kind of expect. I think the bigger names are going to be Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and Cliff Kingsbury, and then obviously Freeman. But
If you're like a Ben Johnson, who's like the hottest name, OC name, about to get that job, would you take the Bears job?
he wanted it last year when it was
Okay,
arguably
okay,
worth
okay,
it, so.
okay, okay.
Yeah, that would be that actually would probably be the worst situation for me as a opponent fan, as an opposing fan.
But it could also be a great moment because if Ben Johnson goes and fails,
yeah,
you never even need to think about the Chicago Bears for the rest of your life ever. They'll never do anything.
Yeah, no, very fair. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, the only other game really worth mentioning is the Kirk Cousins Bowl.
Oh yeah.
And I really don't think that there's a lot going on. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, I saw. Oh yeah.
Pick sixes.
I thought Tarheeb still was his wide receiver one out there. I was a little bit confused.
I think that you have a situation where that Vikings defense just sitting there like, oh my god, you're telling me I gotta pick him off and it means something this time?
No, yeah, and I know like for the Arizona game is a little weird last week. But like for this one, oh, everybody in the locker room's a little bit juiced up for this one. They're all playing with a little.
I could almost guarantee a Harrison Smith.
A pick six or just pick?
Just pick. Just maybe.
Okay. If Harrison Smith,
I'm not going that deep into the
but if
facts.
Harrison Smith does hit a pick six this weekend, boy, I expect that. Expect Steelers fans to be having a field day in the comments section.
Freaking out. Yeah, they'll be having a fun time.
Yeah, but this should be an interesting week of some NFL football. But yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Last closing thought. Apparently, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, and two other teams that are irrelevant have all offered over 600 million for Juan Soto. That would be interesting. I don't know if you saw the new Golden at bat.
I did. I do not like that.
I
No, it
don't
helps
like it.
us. I don't like it.
No, like objectively, it'll be better for us, but I don't think it's a good thing. But like,
sucks.
if Juan Soto was on the team, who gets the Golden Bat? Like, I think we go who's hottest in that game, who's hitting the best. You get to go. There's no preference.
I will be honest. Hey,
whoever's feeling themselves that day, you get to go.
You have if in any situation you have an argument.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani, you're roll back up there, buddy.
If it's playoffs, it's Kike Hernandez.
Okay. No, yeah, literally.
That is a joke, but also there is a valid argument for that. There's a very valid argument.
I'm also just gonna say this, float this out for everybody. I'm expecting Teoscar to re-sign, and when that happens, also get ready for platoon Jock Peterson being on the Dodgers next year. That's like, it makes too much sense. It's not very expensive. He loves us. Already? We haven't done so yet, but he's the most nervous man in Los Angeles right now.
We need to move.
No, he's sitting there just like he got an ARB case coming up. He's like, lowball them. Do not ask for a lot. I'll take the min. I'll go back on a renew deal.
I will pay them to be here. I will give them back money.
Literally, he's like, yeah, you could slash me from 3 mil to 300K. Just please do not Miguel Vargas me. I saw the pictures of him crying. I'm not trying to be that.
Got a ring though. At least there's that. But
yeah, no, hey, he deserves that. He deserves that ring.
Sacrifices were made. Him and
Kopech and Edman for him.
Vargas and Honeywell both. Thank you for your duty.
Well, the thing about Honeywell is we had a DFA him. He's on the 40 man. He did not get picked up by another team. We haven't technically re-signed him on a minor leaguer, but he's going to be on a minor league deal for us.
Hey, Dodgers owe him. Friedman owes him that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like literally, I hate to say it, but we're going to be 60-year-olds telling our grandkids, so let me tell you the story of Brent Honeywell. And they're like, all right, let's get you in bed, Pops. All right. Okay. Like that's going to be it.
There's a lot of Brent's named this year in Los Angeles. Only Die Hard though.
I may need to check at the end of the year how many Shoheis, how many Freddys, and there's got to be at least one person who named their child Mookie this year. There's got to be at least one guy, at least one kid is named Mookie this year, at least one. Yoshinobu would be objectively the hardest first name that you could pick for your kid, though. Just Yoshinobu. Yeah. It's
Yoshinobu, the Dodgers Raiders fan.
Yeah, Waterboy Yoshinobu. That'll be my son.
But with that, we're probably going to wrap up here. So thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. You can find me and me and Grant on Twitter at Eversig at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. So make sure to check us out there and subscribe so don't miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok. So check us out there as well. Hopefully we will be back to our regularly scheduled 2 episodes a week after this next week. Your boy is in the middle of finals, so lock in on that. But after that, hopefully we'll be back on it, and that also goes for content on TikTok. With that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you next episode. Waterboys out.